Hi everyone, welcome to this explanation of how to do the spelling words. Each spelling list is targeted exactly for what everybody needs. And there are a few different ways of doing these spelling lists, so I'm here to show you some of them now. You'll see that most of your word lists will have categories. So these are the categories for the list that I'm using. The C, V, and C, that comes up quite a lot, and that stands for consonant, vowel, and consonant. And this one is consonant, vowel, consonant, and an E at the end as well. And sometimes we'll have an oddball category, where it's a word that looks like other words, but doesn't fit with the sound. So some of my words I have here, I have wife, I have June, I have skin, I have a bunch of other words like that. So we can now sort those words into the groups. So wife has a long I sound, so that goes there, and it also matches with the E at the end. Skin has an I, short I sound, so that goes in the short vowel group. These are short vowels and these are long vowels. So then I would go ahead and put all of the words into the different categories. This is called a sound sort. As we go though, you might notice that some of these words don't fit into the category. Like the word done. It has an E at the end, but the vowel sound, if you sound it out, has an sound. It doesn't have the long vowel sounds like I and U and A. So that is one of our oddballs because it doesn't fit into the normal category. That is one sort of list, and we've just done a sound sort together. Now, some lists don't have categories. They are just a bunch of words with a pattern. And this word list has a bunch of different homophones. So in this one, I'm not putting them into big column groups. I'm just putting them into pairs. So I can see that I and I are a pair, so I'm going to put those together. Then I can see that night and night as well are homophones. They sound the same, but they're spelled differently. I can see that time and time are also pairs. So in this list, words aren't in big columns, they're just in pairs. Here we have another sort of list. This list has sounds at the top. So it will have the spelling of how the word might use those letters, and then the sound that those letters make. So all of these sounds are related, but they're all spelled slightly differently, and they all sound slightly different. In this list as well, and sometimes this you'll see in a few different lists, they have some words in bold. And these bold words are at the top of your list before you cut them out, and they match with the sound in the same order. So in this list, it has these sounds in these orders, and then these example words in bold to show you which ones match. So catcher is spelled C-H-E-R at the end and makes a chur sound, catcher. Measure is spelled S-U-R-E and makes a zh sound. So measure goes with that one. Figure has U-R-E at the end and makes a y sound, figure. And picture makes a chur sound. So these two make the same sound, but their spellings are different, and that's what we're practicing. So pressure would probably go in this group. Failure would go in this group. Culture, because it has that ch sound, so I have to decide between here and here, but I can see it has T-U-R-E, so I'll put it in this group. And then you would sort your words into those sound groups. Here's another sort of list. This list has actually two categories that look the same, long vowel, but they're next to other groups that they're related to. This long vowel turns into a short vowel. This long vowel turns into a schwa sound, and I'll show you what that means. Again, we have our words in bold that give us examples. So volcano is the long vowel, the A sound is the long vowel, turns into volcanic, and the long A becomes an A, so that's the short vowel. Volcano, volcanic, makes an A short vowel sound. But compose, even though it's a long vowel, when it turns into composition, the O becomes an sound, and that's what schwa means. So it makes an sound, which is what we say when we say schwa as well. So I have other words that are related. Reptile is the long vowel, and reptilian is the short vowel. Admire is the long vowel, and where's my admiration? Admiration. It goes from ire to I. Admire, admiration. But then we have compete, the long vowel, and competition. That turns into a schwa sound instead. So that's another sort of list that uses a schwa, and even though it has the same category headings, they turn into different sounds. So those were all different lists with different sorts of headings, but they were all sound sorts that I did. The type of sort that I did is called a sound sort. So we're going back to our first list now, and I'm going to show you a whole sound sort before I show you a different type of sort. So there we go. I've just done a sound sort, and I've clumped these few together because I ran out of screen room. And I almost got tricked by have and done. Even though they have the E on the end, they don't fit the sound pattern, and so they're the oddballs. So I've got my three headings, noun, verb, and adjective, and I'm ready to write these words into those groups. So race, I'm looking at first. That could be a noun or a verb. I'm going to choose it as a verb. Rule could also be a noun or a verb. I'm going to make it a verb as well. Safe is an adjective, and tide is a noun. So I would go through my whole list and sort them into those groups, and that's a part of speech sort. A very important type of sort is a blind sort, which is where I don't get to look at the words, I only get to hear the words. So I'm going to start by writing my groups, my categories, their headings at the top of my page. So I've got consonant, vowel, consonant, short sound, consonant, vowel, consonant with an E, long vowel, and an oddball. Then I either get someone to read me my list of words, and I would write them into their groups just from hearing the word, or if I don't have anyone to read them to me, I can record myself on a device, reading the words in a random order, and then listen to that recording and write them into the groups. So I'll do that now. So I've just finished doing my blind sort. Someone has read those words to me, or I have recorded myself and heard my own recording, and then I write them into those groups. And that is exactly how we will do a spelling test at the end of each week. So it will be 1 mark for spelling the word right, and 1 mark for putting it into the right group. So luckily I paid attention, and I have my oddballs in the right group, even though my handwriting is pretty messy today. That is the blind sort. Now we come to the speed sort. This is exactly like the sound sort that we did at the start of this video, except I'm going to try to do it as fast as I can. And I'm going to video myself doing it and see how long it takes. So here we go. And that's it. So I'll check my time, and that would be how fast I did a speed sort. And then I could do an alphabetical sort. So I grab my piece of paper, and I'm now going to write these words out in alphabetical order. Before I do that, I might even arrange them in alphabetical order first, so then it's easier for me to write down alphabetically. So there you go. I sorted them out alphabetically and checked carefully. And now for my alphabetical sort, I can write them out in alphabetical order. So that's how you do an alphabetical sort. Now I'll show you how to do a part of speech sort, which is where we sort the words into their groups of nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And there's one more type of sort that we can do, and this is your own sort. So you get to put these words into your own groups. So looking at these words now, I can see that a lot of them have a short ah sound. So I might start a group for that sound. Crab and have and wax. They all have that short ah sound. Then we have the long a sound as well. Race and safe and cape. So I might sort them into vowel sounds. I can also sort them into spelling patterns, which has two consonants after its short vowel, but skin only has one consonant after its short vowel. So I might sort them into those groups as well. One consonant after the short vowel, or two consonants after the short vowel. So that's another type of group I could make with this list. So this is your own sort where you get to make up the groups yourself.